Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack at it. Buy up, buy up. And in Menudo style, direct fashion, we're going to get straight to the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. And I appreciate your support, man. I'm very humbled by it. So Flaco got 15 of them, right? That's going to hold them, man. So unfortunate. You know, for those of you that have been watching me for several years now, you understand that when I first got into YouTube, man, I used to kick it with Flaco from a Convicts perspective, right? I came up with them as far as this YouTube shit. And we made channels. He made a channel maybe a couple weeks prior to me. But even before that, he was one of the reasons why I even got into YouTube, because I seen him interviewing people on another channel, and I reached out to him because I recognized him from prison. I recognized him from having been in DVI prison, Tracy, back in 2006 when I was there. He was transitioning and leaving the prison just as I was getting there, right? And I recognized his name. I knew of him, knew who he was, and reached out to him, man. We conversed, and I got on this YouTube shit. Now, so I gotta always say, and I'll never glaze over it, that Flaco was one of the reasons why, or gave me a lot of the game to get into YouTube. I can't deny that. That's a fact. That's the truth. Now, all the other shit that happened in the meantime, in between time, here's some knowledge you can't get in college. It was a roller coaster, man. There was some times when we were cool. There was a lot of times when we were not. Okay, a lot of that was due to not being able to sit down and have a great conversation, see eye to eye, and a lot of people pushing a narrative and causing conflict. Now, at the end of the day, I'm glad things worked out the way they worked out for myself, because I was able to shake, everybody that was didn't have my best interests, right? And that's just how that went. But somewhere along the line, I felt that I was going to do this video, and I've just been waiting. I know Flaco's been locked up now for over a year, and he got some pretty serious charges. Allegedly he shot 2 people, and a whole lot of things happened. And I didn't want to speak too much on the case while he was going through his trial, just based on, let that man do his thing, and let the chips fall where they fall, where they lay. And the other day, Flaco got convicted. He got convicted and sentenced, right? And he took 15 years. He took a deal for 15 years. And I know a lot of people are like, damn, 15, that'll hold them. Yeah, that'll sit you down. Sentate. That'll sit you down for a minute, right? But at the same time, it could have been worse. He was looking at almost 100 years. So a 15-year deal at his age right now will put him out about the age of 60, a little over 60 years old, depending upon, what happens while he's in prison. Prison's a different animal. You can go in with 1 day and get out 30 years later. I've seen people going with 18 months and turn it into life without the possibility. So when you're going to prison, you have to have an understanding. This is the way I always did it. I'm never coming home. That's what I used to tell myself. I'm never going home. I'm going to try to go home, but I got to forget about that world. I'm in a whole different world now. And in the penitentiary, right, in prison, you got to play by those rules, those politics, those racial lines, everything that's going to happen in prison. That's your world now. You're a part of that. Don't go acting like you're going to wake up in the morning and go get you an egg fucking McMuffin. It's not going to happen. You're going to go down there, and hopefully they're serving SOS prison style, and that's what you're going to eat for the day. There's a lot of different things. People manipulate people. Oh, man, prison ain't shit. You're going to go in, there's a gang of camaradas, a gang of homeboys, man. It's all good. Yeah, maybe not where you're going. Maybe where they were at. It's different for everybody. But one thing is for sure, and 2 things are for certain. You can go in with 10 days and get 100 years. That's a fact, right? It all depends on when your hand gets raised, who you're hanging around. And best believe, man, best believe this. The brothers are strong, but the essay's the deepest. You're going to go in there, and there's definitely going to be some people that want to pull your whole card. They want to see what's up. So Flaco was given 15 years. But I wanted to talk about our interactions and the rise and the downfall of Flaco. So when Flaco first got on YouTube, man, there was a lot of people that was supporting his channel. It was a little bit different. His channel was giving you prison spills, knowledge you couldn't get in college, and all the different things that dealt with streets and gang activity, which YouTube had really never seen before by someone at Flaco, and he was a Convicts perspective. He was with Rojo, right? Someone who had actually done it in a real way, like them, that had achieved a certain level in the crime organizations, right? And so it was different, man. And a lot of people jumped on it. And when I got on YouTube, man, a lot of people, pulled up and started supporting me. And I still got some of those same supporters. And I got a whole bunch of new people because of the content of my content, the context of my content. Now with Flaco, man, there was a lot of support for him because people recognized his name. People knew that he was a historian. He was especially a historian in Northern California politics and policies and gang related barrios and all that. He knew a lot about the Norteño cause, right? And people picked up on it, recognized it, and started watching it. Now, somewhere along the lines, there was some bullshit that came up. And a lot of people's eyes were open into some of the history of Flaco himself and some of the mistakes he made and some of the things he participated in. And, man, it made him and everyone around him look very bad. That's the truth, man. I remember I tried to distance myself. And I heard a spill Flaco did the other day on his channel because he's still doing spills from county jail. And in the spill, he was like, man, a lot of people turned their back on me and a lot of people left me solo. And that's what led him to his demise, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I was one of them guys that try to push away from what he had going on. And it's just because it was a dangerous situation. And it was kind of like a birds of a feather flock together situation where he was being accused of some things that he actually admitted to doing. And in the gang world, man, or in any world, you can't be seen or affiliating with such things, people that commit such acts, because even though they might have justification for it, or they might have their own reasoning, it's going to make you look a certain type of way and people are going to judge you. And, when you're trying to do a YouTube channel and create content and do your thing, or just be a person in society, man, it's going to weigh on you. You're going to get blamed for shit. And I didn't want to be a part of them shenanigans. I didn't want to be a part of that situation. So I pushed away. And instead of being recognized as, hey, man, I hear you, bro. I feel you. That's my bad. Do your thing. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of hatred, a lot of envy, a lot of jealousy, a lot of drama that was unnecessary because at one time I considered Flaco a friend, man. I invited him to my home. I invited him to my family's home. So I didn't understand. And he invited me to his home. I didn't understand the situation, but I realized that we all played a part in it. There's no fucking denying that, right? This is what hurts my heart about the Flaco situation. The 15 years he just got sentenced to. I've been to his home. He lived in the Santa Rosa area. And I remember pulling up, and he had a very nice home, 2-bedroom home, 2-story home. He had full custody of his son. His son's a good kid, man. And he looked like he had his shit together. He had a nice little car, his own pad. He didn't have a chick living there. I mean, just, as a single father, I recognized what he was doing. He had his shit together. And he had the support of his family who didn't live too far. And he had it going on, man. He had a lucrative YouTube channel. He was working and volunteering, doing certain things in the community. Like I really admired the fact that he had got his shit together. Now, this was before all the bullshit and all the narrative came out that he wore a wire and all that weird shit, right? But I was like, wow, this is someone that's inspiring. He's got full custody of his son, knowing where he comes from and the lifestyle he lived, a 2-story home, a nice car, he's talking to his chick on the phone nightly. Like he was doing his thing. And he made a mistake. He made a decision, and this is something I wanted to put out there, man. And Flaco, I know you're gonna watch this, and my prayers are with you, man, in your future life, man. I hope that you're able to get in and get out of prison, man. I don't wish ill upon nobody, man. All the things that Flaco ever said about me are forgiven. I don't care, man. I don't care about those rap songs. I don't care because I understand those were done. You were high. I understand that, man. And I realized that. That's why I used to tell you when we used to talk on the phone, hey, bro, you're high. Calm down, man. You're not thinking straight. I try to give game and knowledge that you couldn't get in college. But anyway, so Flaco made a fatal mistake, man. He actually met somebody and decided that it was the woman for him and moved out of state, moved to Arizona. And I remember when he made that decision, I talked to him on the phone. Like I said, this was prior to all the bullshit shenanigans. And I asked him, hey, bro, are you truly making the right decision? Like, do you know what you're doing? And yeah, man, I love this woman. We're meant to be together. And from day one, from fucking day one, day zero, this much, I seen his whole world decline. I seen, him go through a lot of hardship. I seen the arguments. I heard about the arguments. I seen two people that weren't on the same page, and shout out, no disrespect to Flaco's wife, because they ultimately got married. In fact, they got married the day of the Cholo Trucker fight, the day that we did that pay-per-view fight, that they went and got married in Vegas, right? These are behind the scenes true stories. And even then, I tried to stop him, like, hey, bro, are you sure you know what you're doing? Nah, it's all good, man. I'm going to do this. And he went live and he proposed and they got married and people supported him and sent them money. And man, they were going to have a perfect life, right? Sometimes you meet a person, man, and their perfect life doesn't puzzle piece to your perfect life. So he immediately started to go down a dark road, man. If you watch his channel, he's expressed that he felt lonely. He felt people turned their back on him. He felt like his relationship just wasn't working out. And somewhere along the lines, he found dope, and started to indulge, which is what a lot of people do, man. When you're feeling lonely or you're depressed or you feel like the world's against you, man, a lot of people turn to substance abuse, right? And there was times when Flaco, you could tell he was losing weight. He was acting different. We still have a cool, I would say it wasn't a relationship like friends, but we were definitely associating on the phone here and there. I would just try to give him like a positive influence, because I knew what he once was and I knew what he was able to achieve before he met me, as far as getting his son full custody, getting a home, all that. I knew that he still had that in him. You don't forget that shit. You don't lose that strive or that hustle, right? So I moved in with a whole lot of energy and I told him, hey, bro, let that shit go over there, because he was going through a lot of fucking hardship, man. A lot of people don't understand Flaco was going through some serious shit, the domestic issues, the calling of the cops. These are things that people in our life, people that were gang members, people that were criminals, people that lived that street life, that domestic shit, that being told what to do, that being responsible for a whole bunch of children that are not yours, that just all kinds of shit, it makes a motherfucker change. It changes your mentality. It makes people give up. Some people quit. Some people go harder in the paint. Some people don't have that mentality to do that. Flocka definitely didn't have that mentality. His mentality was different, man. He was just trying to come up and do his thing. And in the midst of that, shit just got worse. Infidelity, questioning of each other's fucking livelihood. There was a lot going on, man. And I was privy to all this because I would have phone conversations. And my message was continual, consistent, and real. Get the fuck out of there, I used to tell him, bro. Get off the dope and get out of there. And I became the villain. I became the bad guy. I became the scapegoat. I became the punching bag. All of a sudden, Flaco would go in on me because he felt, I think it was the losing of a friend. He felt because I turned my back on him, but I didn't turn my back on him. I turned my back on the bullshit that he was involved in. I turned my back on, you can't help someone that can't help themselves. That's how I felt, right? I always prayed, man. I always wanted better for Flaco and for his kid and for his family. But ultimately, he wasn't hearing me because his mind was clouded by the dope, right? So I wasn't surprised when the next time I see Flaco, man, for a while there, I just pushed off whatever, man, C-stall phone conversation, because, man, what that did by me trying to help Flaco out, that fucked up a lot of my relationships with friends that I had because they didn't like him. So they said, oh, because you're fraternizing with him, Holmes, you're turning your back on us. When in fact, that was not the case. In fact, I was trying to give positive energy, man, because that's the type of man I am. I want to see everyone achieve, even those that fucked up in the past. I'm not going to sit there and go fucking steal a payday candy bar with you because you're going to fucking tell on me, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to recognize that you still have that, you can get rid of those inner demons and be a man. And so me and Flaco stopped seeing eye to eye. We actually had some bullshit happen on YouTube and we wolfed on each other. And we were both guilty of that, man. The back and forth shit, the disrespectful comments. So I'm not gonna play the role and sit here and apologize because I've done that already, personally. But there was a lot of shit that went on, and so I decided, man, that was beneath me. That was childish. I got away from all that, and there was fucking rap songs being posted about me and bullshit. But meanwhile, I seen the decline of Flaco kept getting worse and worse and worse. And so next thing you know, I see him in the newspaper. I see content creators doing videos on him. There was a manhunt. He was on the run for a double shooting and dope and all kinds of things. And this shooting allegedly occurred at his home. So because Arizona is a stand your ground state, I knew he had action. I knew he wasn't going to do as much time as he was facing. But Flocka was still not in his right state of mind. You know, you first get to county jail, you're all over the place. You're trying to get adapted to your situation. It takes time to get adapted and to realize, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm facing. And to acknowledge, man, hey, I'm going to prison. You know, at first you get in there, everyone's like, oh, man, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get a good lawyer. I'm going to fight this. They ain't got shit on me. And then you realize, fuck, man, I did do that, right? So somewhere along the line, he realized it. I know he's had some good communication with some solid individuals, supporters, you know, a husband and a wife that have been supporting him throughout this whole shit, man. I recognize it, I respect it. And I felt bad. So my prayers were with them. You know, fuck all the bullshit that people have talked in the past, man. You got to let shit go. But I don't want to see a human being, a person, man, someone that, like I said, bro, I broke bread with at a table that I know his true colors, his true nature, right? Suffer. So that was that. Well, anyways, the other day, Flaco goes to trial. He goes to court. He takes a deal, not to trial, but he took a deal. And he received 15 years. Okay. I was always told anything over 10, ooh, that'll hold you, right?
You ain't getting out anytime soon, homie, right?
A 15-year deal sounds like a lot, but ultimately it's not as much as you think. This man will still get out with time to see his kid go to college or whatever. But imagine this, and I want to say this. This man went from having full custody of his kid being in his child's life to sacrificing that over a woman or whatever reason he had, right? And ultimately, he's not going to even be around until after his son graduates. That's fucking sucks. That's unfortunate, man. You know, someone who people listen to every day, they got Klecha from. You know, when you see YouTube content creators, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know their personal life. You don't know what they're going through. You only see what you see on screen. Right here, you see me. I got the fly hat, the Amiri shirt. I'm living my best life with a funny ass fucking wood brother mustache, right? And you see this, got coffee, got crank, right? Crankshaft, Hell's Angels, right? And this is what you see. But behind the scenes, you don't know about, you know, the court cases and the custody battles and the baby mama drama and all the chicks that want my chorra, and you don't see all that, right? And Flaco had a lot going on, man. And we're in a world that only the strong survive. You can't be weak-minded, not even a little bit. You have to stay strong-minded. You have to stay positive. You have to stay striving. You know, you have to stay hustling, moving smooth with a purpose. Because if you slip up, man, and you fall into those demons and you get high, or you don't pay attention to what's in front of you, then fucking things from the past will sneak upon you, right? Or you'll lose your footing on the ground. That's some real knowledge you can't get in college. So I express that to everyone because this man went from having his life going on to having nothing going on. 15-year sentence. Now, did he get a good deal? Obviously, man, they probably could have gave him a whole lot more. So he took that 15 in stride. And it's going to hit him. It's going to hit him when he gets to the prison. It's going to hit him like, damn, man, I got to sit down now. Does that mean Flaco's going to do the whole 15? Well, that depends. You know, I don't know how they do it in Arizona, but I'm sure they got 85%. So Flaco's going to look at 85% of 15, do 12, something like that. 11, 12 years. Now, that doesn't mean he won't go into prison and get involved in shenanigans. Like I said in the beginning of the spiel, you have to go in, you have to take care of your business. You have to do what you have to do. And Flaco's expressed it in many videos, man. He ain't no punk, he ain't no suck. He's going to do what he has to do. Now, will his past sneak up on him? He's in a whole different state. They're probably going to put him on a mixed race yard. I don't know the get down and the layout of the prisons in Arizona, but he definitely has to watch his back, man. It's definitely a situation where his past and things that he said and done will sneak up on him, man. Like I said, he's in the county jail. Obviously, it's been good where they placed him. You know, obviously, it's been good. No one's fucking with him. And Flaco's a big dude, man. He's like 6'5", 6'6". He's a big dude. He's one of those dudes when you run into, you see him, you notice him. right? So he's going to be very noticeable on the yard. And if anyone recognizes him from YouTube or they recognize him from his past history, man, it could get ugly fast. So my prayers are with Flaco, man. I just hope that, you know, he's able to achieve whatever he wants and get out. And my prayers are with his family. But yeah, Flaco, from a Convicts perspective, did pick up 15 years. Tap in with Rascal, man. Joshua, the homie hangout, he did a video on it. It's a great video, man. Go support Rascal in his endeavors and what he does, right? Me and him, again, we didn't see eye to eye in the past, man. We let bygones be bygones, and we recognized that we were active as fuck, active fathers, and we actively want something better in our life. And so we acted on it. That's what actors do. They act on it, right? We acted on it. And we let the bullshit go of the past, man. And now I fully support him in what he does, man. Real recognizes real, still sharpens steel. With that being said, shout out to everyone who supports Flaco, man. Again, you got to understand that me doing this video is kind of like a ticky-tacky situation. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm in full support of Flaco, because that'd be a lie, man. There's a lot of shit that's said that I can forgive, but I can't forget, right? And vice versa when it comes to me and him. But I definitely don't want to see him in any danger, man, or anything come of it. But yeah, he got 15. That's what it is. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in, brother. That's the betterment of all people. The gun. Bang, bang.